Hey, Big Mike, what's going on? I'm going to tie some jigs here for perch. Didn't see anybody else going live right now, so I figured I'd do something. I was just getting ready to grab a cup of coffee, tie a few perch jigs. So I see my trees are starting to bloom outside. And I know when a persimmons tree out there starts blooming, that's when the perch are here. It'll be time to go. As soon as I find what I want here. Yeah, I was doing a bathroom remodel. My plaster wasn't dry yet, and I still need a little bit more in a couple spots. So I just went and did a quick skim coat and left. Came home for the day. Figured I'll get this going on. One of the best things right here, man, for tying jigs. They got lights on them and everything. Two lenses fold down on the inside, plus your Mr. Peanut monocle. Hey, welcome in, you little brother. Find some of my. It's been a while since I tied. I probably should have looked through my gear here first. Sorry about that, guys. I bumped it. Come on. Let's get it going here again. Get it locked back on. All right. Shaz, welcome in. Now I'll see if I can get some stuff out of here without hitting everything. The biggest thing was just to get somewhere for everybody to come hang out. So we're going to tie some simple ones. Pretty simple. And then I'll go a little bit more complicated, which ain't even complicated. First off, we need some thread in my bobbin. Oh, there it is. Well, I guess we're starting with orange. That's what color I got. Set in there. Ain't a bad color. That seems to draw them in pretty good. Reds and oranges. The white perch love it for the thread. Scissors. Okay. I guess we need something to tie on here. Cooper, come here. Cooper. Move it. Yeah. Do some white ones first. Border Collie. That's my favorite. Come here, cute. Here's the guy. Here's don't making a donation. Okay. Long hair on their tails. That little clip. Finley. Knock it off, then. We got a backup supply too from the other border collie pup. Knock it off. I'm gonna sneeze. I'll sneeze. Tell them I'm gonna sneeze. They lay down and hide. It's pretty funny. These guys hear me okay? Hey, Backlash. Yeah, I'm always causing trouble. All right. So I'm sure everybody knows how to tie. I ain't got to show anybody that, do I? How you start out there? I mean, it's pretty simple. Anybody do it. Labrador. Well, yeah, but their hair is pretty short because it's always falling out. Robin. Their hair, them short-haired dogs can't do that. I mean, I didn't even take a big cut out of him. Nobody will even notice it. But their hair on their tail gets to be about 5 inches long. Oops. I like to cut that even when I'm going to pinch it. That on there. Get it tied up. I can tie these ones fairly quick. I don't think I want that much. I want to go up higher with it too. I'm going to have to rewind. Here in a second. Come on. Get that better. I like keeping these up towards the head more on them. It's been so long, guys, since I did this. Back up over that. There we go. Now we got it. I don't use a bobbin. I just go around my finger a couple times, throw it over the head, and pull them down. Pull back and forth. At least I remember how to do that. I mean, we got in here already. 3? No one loves me? I didn't think I'd have a whole lot this time of day. I'm done. I'm fishing for perch. So I like to cut these even right with the back of the hook. Because perch seem to hit right out on the end first. He done. Quick tie. Ain't too bad for the first one there today. Especially without having my goggles on. Let's throw that up there. That's what I usually do 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 of everything I make. So I'll make another one just like that one. Now I'll make some of my bug ones that I make. Tighten this up. Spinning on me. Out. Up there. No, I don't sell them. I'll give some away though, if someone wants some. Definitely don't have an issue sending somebody some if they want them. You can look at them, see if you want to make some yourself. I mean, this setup here is probably like 25 bucks or something, 30 bucks that you buy the vise for. Get scissors with it. Got your poker and all. That tip comes off. The little rubber tip I keep on them. Use that to clean out the eyes of them. But you can keep the tip on it. That way, if you want to put some hard head or something on your string and you get high spots, you can rub it out with that then. Make another one here. These are my Cooper jigs. So that's my dog's name, Cooper. The big dog. I'll say his name too much. He'll be up here jumping on my lap. Let's cut them even. Put it right back on there. Yeah, this one's turning out a little better. That one turned out a little nicer looking. But yeah, you don't need that whipping device everybody uses all the time. I haven't seen anybody time by hand knot them off yet on here. Get yourself a set of these. They're, I think, like $8 or $9 at Harbor Freight. So I just take that and I'll put my finger across there and just spin my, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, and just spin in a circle like that 5 or 6 times, and then throw that over the head and pull tight. That won't come out on you. Do 2 of them and you're good to go. I'll pull that back tight, cut off at the back. Right at the back of the hook there. You guys see that? Them perch, they hit short. They get right for the back of the body and bump it a couple times to check it out. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't need anything high tech. Like I said, them kits are cheap. Oh, they come with clamps, little plier clamps in that kit. Your bobbin threader. I'm talking about ones that are a little bit more fun to tie. Okay. I don't know if you guys ever seen these bracelets that you make out of paracord. I use that paracord. 2 different colors. Now the white glows in that kit. I'll take a chunk of that. Well, it's taped together there yet. Well, I'll probably have some laying here already cut and ready to roll. Okay. So take a cut of that. Melt it with a lighter on the end, which gives you a bug tail. That's your body to start out with. Which ends up being a nice jig. Real nice jig. That'll give you a bug body. These work really good. They work great for bass too. I hope I'm keeping up with chat. Now these ones here, I'll put a little hard head on it if I can find it. That'll help that. These perch are pretty. They'll tear your jigs apart on you. Get around that a couple times. These really ain't the right hooks that I like using for these. Really not the hook I like using. I don't know if I have any here of these tied already. I got a bunch of feathers here. Hey, Keith. These are off of a guinea hen chicken. They make really, really, really good bug wings. Tie that on. That'll give me a wing. Another one. The other side. I should probably put my goggles on so I can see. To adjust it. These hooks are too long. Really. These guys can see that or not there, what I got. Next one I'll do a little different probably. The bug. Oop. We got little wings on them with a bug butt. Definitely not one of my better ones, I can tell you that. That's because I'm using hooks that are too long. I wanted to go get more. I usually use, see if I can find one here. I got any? I might have used them all up. What's up, Shirley? Ruby, Jason, Jen, Jocelyn. I might use some of the other ones. Now, this one here has been in the water a bunch of times, and it's still looking pretty buggy with the wings. It seems to hold up pretty good with them bodies. That paracord really takes a beating from the fish. It can handle it. Miss anybody? Chad? Hey, Chad. Yeah, it is a nice shirt. How's yours? I forget what color I sent out to you. I didn't miss anybody in here. Trophy Seeker, how you doing? We're just screwing off. Just messing around today. Since I got off work really early. It's like, well, I'll go home, see who's on YouTube. If there's anybody on. What do I do? Black one. You know, I'm missing here is my cutters. Okay. Oh, there they are. Oh, look at that. I found more jigs. It's amazing what you find. Okay, so here's my setup, guys. It's my jig time box. This Craftsman toolbox that I use. Keep all my supplies in there and all the different drawers. Everything you need there. Again, these are a little organized. But we got all sorts of stuff, even solder. You might want to add some weight to something. Colored wires to add weight sometimes and color at the same time. Freaking lots of feathers and stuff that I collected. All the free chicken feathers that I get. Little smaller box that goes in the drawers there for threads and stuff. Get back and look here. Yeah. A tote. Yeah, I tell you what, when I used to just throw all my stuff into a cardboard box and then get it out every now and then. And with having boys, all my tools were missing anyhow half the time out of my toolboxes. So I took one of my toolboxes, just emptied everything out of it, and it became just for my jigs. That's it. And I love it. It's the best thing I ever did, was switching over to that, keeping everything together. I mean, there's room in there. I throw my goggles and everything up in the top of it. Just everything. And you can hold a lot of stuff in one of these. White bass run. What are the pink? I never did understand. What's the different color hands mean, guys? They're waving. I see that all the time in chats that people do that. I want a black one here. Try another black one. So we get our white perch, American shad, and hickory shad, and river herring. They all run about the same time. What should be real soon. When the persimmons tree out here starts blooming, I know it's time to go for the perch. It never fails. It does not lie. And my maple trees are starting to bloom. They started actually getting buds on them probably 2 weeks ago. You guys care if I grab a cup of coffee here quick? I should have got one before I started the stream. It just don't look like it's, yeah, it did cover it. Well, I figured it was something with emotions, but I don't know what they mean. I mean, what's a red one mean, and what's a purple one mean, and what's a green one mean? I don't understand what the colors mean. It's my whole thing on it. I didn't know if does a green one mean something different than a red one? Or is it just like what the fish are biting on that day? Okay. Hey, Martin. Not sure there's a meaning. I see them all the time. No. I'll check these out. The girl that makes me my shirts sent me these just as something new. Got a nice beer can koozie or soda pop koozie, and I guess this would be a root beer koozie. Uncle Don in here. I didn't see him sneak in. Yes, he is. How you doing, Don? Oh, did you guys see how them wings turned out with how they end up with them spots in them, which is pretty neat. How these wings, it really adds to them by having that. It said guinea hens. So if you know anybody has them, tell them when one of them kicks the can, you want their feathers. Hey, Billy, wanna be squirrel? And everybody's sneaking in here on me. Yeah, I'll probably end up giving them koozies away in a stream. I like giving stuff away every now and then just to give it away. Something to do. Just out of the blue. It was yesterday morning on Hog Lake catfishing. It's in the middle of the stream. I said the first person that sends me their address, I'll send you a T-shirt. Because I want to know who was paying attention in his chat. Spread these ones out a little bit better there. Steal some off that other one. Tie it in. Oop, I lost some of it. I lost my wings. Now I can't fly. Definitely harder working with wing. With these feathers from the chickens. We'll pull some of that one over. Get behind it. Get behind it to hold it down. That's better. Give this one a bright red body. Okay, that worked listening in. Yeah, Squirrel, I think you're the guy that lives fairly close to me, I think, in Pennsylvania. Hey guys, you got the chat moving along, don't you? Let's say those wings are sweet. Okay. I should probably hook my tablet up. Been easier for me to read. Okay. Yeah, the strings do make a difference, I think. Definitely. I like blacks and reds, but that's for perch that I notice a difference in them. Especially if you're going to build it out, that's going to be your body is covered in the string. I think bright red works pretty good. For some reason, I can wrap my hooks sometimes with, I think, yeah, this color orange here, and it does pretty good. Or I do the body in black or something. If I have black head, I'll do like a red ring behind it and do that in red a lot. Seems to work. Or vice versa. Do a red head with a black ring right behind black thread. But black and red is what really works good for me. Yeah. Yep. You know it. Yeah, I'll do a white perch fishing the mouth of Susquehanna where it dumps into the Chesapeake Bay. That's where I do most of my fishing. It's about a 45-minute drive for me down there, even though I live 5 minutes from the Susquehanna. So we don't have the fish up here like down there. A lot of flathead and channel cat here, and some really nice smallmouth bass. What's up, Ash? Did you bring me a coffee? I could really use one. Yeah, you're not far from me, Squirrel. Shippensburg. I'm York. York, PA. Helen, PA. Right outside of York. Most show as black, deepening on the water conditions. Yeah, I think reds don't show up at all after, what is it, 10 foot or something like that, Uncle Don? Or is it only red that shows up after 10 foot? I know there's a color that doesn't show up at all for the fish. Okay, we did some white ones. We did white ones. The Cooper here. And you know what's funny, guys? Look, I got all this bucktail here. I got all sorts of bucktails. We got pink. We got blacks. Bright red. I don't even use bucktail anymore. And I have it. I think I got a green one floating around here too. I got marabous. I don't use it. I got flash. I don't use it. Come here, kid. Oh, you're right there. Oh, where you at, buddy? Give me a nicer piece this time. Now this is the ticket. Border Collie. I don't know why, but the perch has something. I don't know if it's when they hit it, it's not as firm or what, because it's definitely not because of the length of it and the action of it moving. It has something to do with when they hit that and they feel it, that they'll hit that way faster than they and take that quicker than what they will that bucktail. It has something to do with the way it feels, I think, to them. Sure I didn't miss anybody here. And most show is black. Green and pink and red's a good combo. Yeah, texture. It's got to be the texture of it. It's just such a short piece of fur that there is just no possible way it's from the action. And it's not the color because the color is identical when you hold two of them up against each other. I know it. I don't know if any of you have ever tied with polar bear fur, which is really expensive to get. It's hard to get, but it's about a cross between polar bear and bucktail. Even when I tie bigger jigs, I prefer the border collie fur. Now, any of these guys that tie, there's only what 11 in here, so probably maybe half of these tie. If you wanted to try the border collie, I'll mail you some. Because I got two border collies. I got plenty of fur floating around. Got more than enough fur floating around. Let's see what I got here. Danny Stone. Boy, I must be big time right now. We got Danny in here. Did you send me your address before? You sent me your address, didn't you, Robin? No, I just gave a little bit of a trim. He's got plenty of fur. Look, I stayed probably 3 inches off of his body, and that piece of fur is as long as my from the tips of my fingers to the palm of my hand there. And you can't even see where I cut it out of him. Okay, I didn't. Oh, we're waiting on a different size shirt for you, right? Yet, what are you trying to say, Danny? That was what to be. Calling me a turkey? What's wrong with my beard? Alarm going on outside. My boy. Because I live in the middle of nowhere. Now he's got the dog. Come on, guys, stop. Send me a bit. Yes, that's what I was going to do, Robin. I'll send you some white and some black. A little of each. You can try it and see how you like it. Then you'll have to go buy a border collie just for the fur so you can make jigs. Make cheap jigs. Popeye jigs. What's the Popeye jig? I'll have to look that up. Yeah, he definitely ain't cold. Them dogs love playing out in the snow. It's impossible for me to shovel the sidewalk. Every time I'm afraid I'm going to hit him with the shovel. Every time I throw it, man, he's freaking jumping up in the air doing backflips trying to catch it. I guess we'll do another. That one was white, so I'll make another one just like that. Always do pairs. Sometimes I'll do 4 or 5, 6 of them at a shot, but I always want 2 of everything that I normally use every year. I said these 2 different styles that I'm doing, the ones with the wings and just black tails. Like I'll make a white one like this, white on white. Now do black on white or white on black. Still got yous? I lost. Man. Yeah. Am I still cutting out right now that I'm back in? Boy, I hope it doesn't keep on doing that. Hopefully it stays in this time. Maybe they're messing with the. Well, I know it ain't. I'm connected to the house internet here. And maybe they're working on the lines or something somewhere down the road. They like doing that during football games the most, I think. Cutting everybody out. I had them out here one time on Hey Guerrero. They were out here the one time. It was during a Super Bowl game. They went down the road because I was having issues with my internet, and they started turning everybody's internet off. And they were laughing about it. They thought it was funny. They're like, we're going to tell your neighbors it's your fault. These jigs are like the easiest, quickest, easiest jigs to make. The dog fur. Simple. Just one piece of fur on them. Community post on your YouTube. Nobody's posting anybody, probably. But that's what you're talking about, Uncle Don, when people share each other out. Yep. It's exactly what it is, too. The internet goes out because they're fixing somebody else's or hooking somebody else up that's getting new service. And they started building more houses back here by me, which they weren't supposed to because kind of like against the township's thing that they weren't going to take any more farmland to build any more houses. Even if you owned enough land that anybody in this township could only put one more house on their property. So even if you had 50 acres, you could only freaking split it one time, and that was the end of it. All right, quick blend. Simple. Oh, look at that. I left a big clump of hair out because I didn't spin my I didn't spin it. I'll just roll that around. I'll just roll that back up to the top because I didn't glue it. And I'll just tie a little more on it and then glue it. Make it right. I fix that without cutting it open. We'll just throw this in the junk box. That'll be one of my buddies go with me and they're like, oh, can I get one of your jigs? I don't have any. And I don't feel like buying any. I say, yeah, here you go. Grab one of these ones. I'll throw them a little Ziploc baggie full of the ones that I wasn't happy with them for myself. And well, I want one of them other ones. Well, you got to pay me for them. These ones you can have for free. Yeah, that's what they do too. Yeah, I try to share a lot of people out when I can. Unless it's somebody that I know that pretty much everybody I'm connected to is, and I see they're all sharing them out. Then I won't sometimes. Yeah, we're just gonna put some little hard head on this one. This one I ain't happy with. That'll go into the junk, not junk bag, because these things they all catch fish the same. As long as your colors are right, it don't matter. The fish don't care if they're pretty looking or not, but I like when they look good. We'll chuck that one off to the side. That'll go in the Ziplocky. That'll go into the pile of these. The miscellaneous bag of jigs. We got all sorts of stuff. Most of them are from when I very first started tying. You stir them in. My good ones, I keep in containers like this. This one ain't mine. This one was my wife's. There it is. Hook all your stuff in there. But when you start loading up, mine's in the boat, loaded up already. That way, when you open them up, and somebody sees that, they're like, "Man, they look nice," and they're all nice and organized in there, look all pretty, and they want to know what you're using. They're like, "Where do you get them?" Well, I tie them myself. A lot of modifications. Yeah, I think something's been going on the last couple of days with YouTube with notifications. Because I've been hitting refresh. I go there, it hits my subscriptions, and then I refresh it like 5 or 6 times, and it could be something that I was just watching. I know it's still streaming, and they're still not showing up. And then, like the fifth time I hit it, then boom, there they are again, right where they were the first time when I found them. But I ended up getting a phone call or something and left the stream. So a lot of it is on YouTube's end. jigs are more likely to catch the fish than the perfect. Yeah, because you can't replicate them again. I don't know. I used to buy ones that were perfect. I don't know if I have one in here or not. Let me see if I can find it. Right here. I don't know if anybody can see that. That jig. I used to buy these things. It's called the Little Festus. And they were made locally. And they are so generic too. And these things worked so well. And then they were made in India. Then they went to China. Now I heard some company back in the US got them again. And then I heard they were someplace close to me, next county over, that I guess one of the original people bought the rights back to it again and started making it. Or they started making them, calling them something else. Oh, is Ernie on? I'm surprised Ernie didn't come in here and check me out. I visit him all the time. Yep. Oh, kind of like I'm tying here. Just the tail. These ones just the tail on a hook. The head. Or like that little Festus there. They're great for the perch. But man, where's this one I make that I do like using bucktail for? Let's see if we can find one. I don't know where it's. I thought I had one laying around here. I got one laying in here. Okay. This one is bucktail. This one here is pretty beat up though. Okay, so what I do is I do the bucktail in black, and then I run a streak of red over top, tie it back, bring it, fold it, tie with black thread back the body. And when you get back here, you fold it back up there, bring it up to the head and tie it off. These things here, man, everything tears them up in the river in the spring. You get perch on them, you get the shad on them, you get bass on them, the river herring. It's just pretty much as soon as you chuck it out there, you're getting something. But you don't know what size fishing rod to be using then. Because catching a little white perch to an American shad, that's a big difference in the fight. Yeah, isn't skipjack, isn't that shad? I think they're the same thing. They're just called different. I think they call them moon eye too. I think it's still the American shad. Just a local thing. Kind of like with striper. In the Chesapeake Bay, they call them rockfish. I'll sneeze, dog. I'm going to sneeze. That's what I thought. You lay right down. Herring. Finn, settle your butt. I wish I was going to run the Bass Pro today to get some other jigs. What I need to do is find the right size hook and mold to make these little ones I was saying. I don't know how well they'd pour though. Probably have to preheat all the molds. Knock it off. I probably have to pour them a couple times and get the mold nice and hot. I hate that when you freaking put a hook in there and you pour and then you end up with air pockets. I don't want orange on orange. We did what, white? Good. I think he calmed down now. Rod knockers. What's up? Skipjack is a herring. Shad is just shad. Skipjack is a herring. Shad is just shad, but with a bunch of different kinds of like moon eye, threadfin, and American. Okay. So skipjack and moon eye are different. Dog, quit chewing on my chair. Fucking puppies. He wants to get it. We're gonna switch. I ain't doing orange on orange. I'm not tying orange on orange. Like that, we ain't doing pink. That bright pink's pretty cool. Let's good black thread. We'll find the end of it. There it is. Might have to put my other glasses on. Yeah, Bob. Oh, come on. Drop that on the floor. There, you guys can laugh now because I can't see the thread bobbing. But now I can. With ease. These things were like the best investment. In there. The detail that you can see when you're getting picky with jig tying. It's unbelievable how precise you can get. I only had one jig. It would be a combo of pink and white. I know I tried pink and white before because them little ones there are pink and black, which are my absolute favorite. Was them pink and black ones for the, but that was perch only, white perch. And they got red thread, I think, on them. Yeah, they're tied with a red. We'll try orange and green. We're gonna put that on there. Little hard head because I'm gonna put a body on this one. Once I put my little buggy bodies on, I like to put that hard head on them. Oh, say hi, send my love to Troy. I didn't know he was on. And everybody's coming on now. Speaking of skipjack colors, I need to crappie fish more. Looking for skipjack color. Okay. Hey, Jerry. Nice to see you. Do they got that line closed down on for Norfolk Southern that runs along the Susquehanna that crosses the bridge from York County to Lancaster County and Marietta? I've been going up through there for the last week and a half. I haven't seen a train on it yet this week or last week. Oh, he won't be on for another 15 minutes. I'm going to start making some more of you guys moderators in here then. After I end the stream, I'd do it now, but I can't. I don't think. No, I know I can't. I know I can't. But we definitely need some more mods going on. Oh, we'll get a feather. Wherever I chucked them. Over there. Oh, we're making jigs. Because the white perch run is coming. It's on its way. About another 3 weeks, probably 2 to 3 weeks. It's guinea hen feathers. Have any of you ever just put feather on and then just tied it every which direction and only put a feather on it? Man, I tied something like that already. Out of that guinea hen. Boy, did they ever look nice when I was done. Really nice. But I don't think they did as well. I mean, it looked nice to me. I liked it. Everybody that's seen them was like, man, that's freaking really wild looking. Make me some of them. And what you think's going to work don't work all the time. It's like this simple stuff seems to be the best. I use the tip of the feather on this one. No, these are for fishing with a regular fishing rod, like trout rod. It's like Probably 4 to 6 pound test. And you put two. I'll put make like a high-low rig. You got one jig up, one jig down, like 6 inches apart or so, and we'll fish in about 4 foot of water on the Susquehanna. Here in another 3 weeks, the white perch will be running, and you'll catch 2 at a time. 2 perch at a time, and you catch them before your bait even hits the bottom in 4 foot of water. I probably shouldn't keep using these hooks for these jigs. We're just going to tie a bunch. These are the ones I'll just give away. These will go in the bag. Now you can't click on them while you're on the names while you're streaming to make them mods. I've tried it a bunch of times. Now, as soon as I end that stream, I'll be able to just touch the names and moderate everybody. I think if I do the paid version, I can. But the free version of StreamYard, you can't. A big white perch is probably about 15-inch long. About the size of your hand. Pretty close to the size of your hand for perch. For most of them. But you can fill a 5-gallon bucket up of them in an hour on the bites there. So they're like really super fun to catch, easy to catch. Take little kids out for them. Man, they just have a blast. If your wife doesn't care much for fishing, it's impatient people. That's the ones that you take fishing for perch. People that get bored with fishing quick. When they're fishing for perch, they won't have time to be bored. Because the bite's just nonstop when they're on their spawn. Man, they just tear everything up out there in the spring. Wannabe, which river do you fish? Anyfin. What's up? Thanks for coming in. Oh, we're just tying some jigs for perch. Bored. Need to get a bunch tied up for everybody else to lose. Probably next week, I'll go and get the hooks I want, and then I'll start tying what I really want to tie. How I want to tie them. I kind of like that last one. These ones are a little bit big, these hooks. I'm going to grab a coffee quick, guys. Just give me 1 second. Oh. All right. What was I doing here? Wait for that to, it'll be done before I even get this tied back around here. I'll tell you what, though, these bigger ones, it's nice because I can just wear my regular glasses at the time. Especially since I know I ain't worried about how they look too much. White. My dog fur. And it's not because I'm cheap that I'm using dog fur. We got plenty of bucktail in there that I paid good money for. It's just this dog fur works better. The border collie. One hair back here. White River. Where's the White River? Black River, Spring River, South Fork River, Strawberry River, Spring River. What state's that? The rivers I never even heard of. Found human hair works really good. I used to have hair down to my shoulders, but I had to harvest it all. You know what? I had hair last spring. It was 3/4 of the way down my back. I was growing it out to donate it to that Locks of Love, and nobody around here wanted to do anything. They didn't want to send it off or cut it, or they're like, oh, it's a pain in the butt. You don't want to do it. They just sell it anyhow for the money, sell it to other places. And if you go on their website, it actually says that's what they do, that they sell it all, that they don't keep very much of it at all to make wigs. They used to be really big on making them and donating them to kids. Finn can go. Where's Finn? Maybe Finn can go perch fishing with you. My dog. Oh, any Finn? Finn is going perch fishing with me. This is my border collie Finn, the new one, the pup. He's going to be the new boat dog. Yanni Finn, you're what? Are you UK? Right? Or am I wrong? I spilt my glue over my scissors. Catch more for the freezer. Arkansas. Yep, that's Finley. I call him Finn, like Huck Finn, because I wanted to have a good boat dog. I gotta rinse these off. This glue, I don't know what's up with it. Tell you that in a second. I guess it's like paint. Grab my coffee. All right, coffee. I don't know if any of these guys use this to tie a hardener to put on the strings, but man, the thing of this goes a long ways as long as you don't spill it, like I just did. When it dries out, you just add a little water to it, and you're good to go again. Stir it right back up. So I spilled it right on my scissors. I just went over and rinsed it right off. But after it dries the whole way, it's no longer water soluble. Should grab, there's a paper towel. Let me get that spill wiped up before I get in trouble. There we go. Yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, wannabe. I've always had border collies. Yes, border. And after I got my first one, I'll never get back to any type of dog besides a border collie. They are absolutely the best. Home of the PA. Yeah. Oh, you're I talked to you before about you have your boy out fishing with you all the time, right? Anything? You Lancaster County? Home of the PA tarpon. I think I invited you along to go, you and your boy, to get you hooked up on some blue cats. Just east of Lancaster. Because as soon as the white perch run is done, is when I'll start targeting blue cats again. And we do that right down there at where the Susquehanna dumps into the Chesapeake. Yep, Shanksville. Yeah, it was a real nice muskie you got. Real nice muskie. That was your first one, right? Yeah, get a hold of me towards the end of May. That's when the bites is starting to pick up. April, May. If you didn't get them fish yet on your list of fish caught, we'll get you down there and get you some. We won't have any problem at all getting 20 pounders in the boat. Not a problem at all. Yeah, it's ain't nothing better than seeing young kids catch big fish. Or adults that never caught them. Or never caught a blue cat or or only caught small catfish, but it does something to you. I can tell you that. You'll get an addiction with it. At least I did. Because originally I started going down there. I was only going, and once or twice a year, an old guy got me talked back into fishing a few years back, and I went down for the white perch with him. Because I used to go there back in my 20s and stuff with my one uncle, and we go down for the shad. And he's like, "Well, did you ever go for the perch?" I was like, "No," but him and his buddies would go down for him, but I never went along to go for the perch. So I went down perch fishing with this old guy a few years back, and we got into them. And I was like, "I want to go for a rockfish now." After I started doing the perch, it's like, let's go down and target a few of them. So we went and did that. And we got some striper and everything. And then I was doing a lot of catfishing up here in the Susquehanna, and ended up I was like, they were catching the blue cats way down the bay, and I was hearing people in the middle of the bay that were catching them. I was like, well, I bet you them catfish are coming up into the Susquehanna. So I went down there one day and targeted them. My first trip down there, I caught, oh, it was like a 38-pound flathead, a 22-pound channel cat, and what was it, like freaking 3 or 4 blue cats that were between 10 and 20 pounds. So my very first trip, I pulled a trifecta down there and got all the sport catfish right away on my first trip down there. And that's like pretty much impossible to do now. Flatheads, they're very few and far between on that section of the river. And to find them that close to each other is tough. Because you normally won't find blue catfish hanging out around a flathead. And I think that was, man, right after perch season. I know one thing, when you're down there perch fishing, you don't want to leave your perch in the water, because either rockfish is going to take it, which striper, same thing. They just call it rockfish down there in Chesapeake. That's either going to run off with it, or a big cat's going to take it and run off with it. But luckily, the catfish aren't really, I guess, are so gorged up on perch that perch don't work very good for the bait down there during the spawn. But you can use them late season and they'll work. Like if you use them in like July and August, then they work great. You can use the perch in. But if it's spawn, they don't work. So I just figured they're catching them all. Yeah, the white perch are right there. They're there right now, but you won't catch them like you will here in another 3 weeks. About 3 weeks. They're actually already staging down in the mouth of the bay, at the mouth of the Susquehanna River. Hundreds, yellows or whites. The whites. Can you catch white fish in here? Hundreds of them. Reservoir. Yep. Yeah, it's tough to get into the hundreds here or down there. I mean, you can find them. It ain't too bad. They school up, and it's usually down there in the mouth. Catch 4 at a time. Yeah. On a sabiki. You ain't allowed to use a sabiki. Who doesn't keep a sabiki with them though? Five to nine. Yeah, nines. I think that's what I like. The spring run, the fish are bigger, are definitely bigger, but the ones that you're going to catch are going to be up in that 13, 14-inch range. Uh, they're the big females. The males are usually smaller. So, I mean, if you want to keep on having a good perch run, you really shouldn't be keeping them. I didn't even know there. I never even looked into that to see if I could use sabiki in Pennsylvania because I know Maryland you can't, and that was the only time that I really wanted to have one to use it. But I don't think they really don't work all that great down there anyhow. Seems like these little bit bigger jig heads work a little better. But yeah, the big whites, they're definitely the spring of the year. They get mad when you release them. I don't know why they'd want them out of the reservoir. That's a good food source for the other fish. It's a real good bait fish. I mean, if I brought them, which you ain't supposed to do, I mean, if it was white perch work good for catfish, and use them in Pennsylvania. I'm sure the smallmouth bass probably tear them up too. Nothing but a giant shiner. Stuff here. So I'll tie a couple more here. Mad when I release them. Oh man, I was looking at talk about releasing. I looked at a comment on another guy's YouTube channel. Pretty big YouTube channel too. And he was out white perch fishing. And he's catching them, left and right and everything. Yeah, white perch are small. You catch them, you just throw them out of the boat. Well, this guy leaves a comment about the way he released that fish, that us anglers are working so hard to make a better freaking visual of ourselves, and he's destroying it all because of the way he released that fish. And I'm like, it's a freaking perch that did not hurt. Were you supposed to release that perch, that 4-inch fish, the same way that you would a freaking 10 or a 20 or a 30 or a 40 or a 50-pound fish? Because personally, I don't think releasing I mean, it's not like the guy threw it like a baseball. It was like he just right over there, freaking out the side of the boat to the water. I guess he was supposed to freaking give it mouth to mouth resuscitation and a nice bubble bath and everything else before he released it. So I'm thinking the guy that left the comment must have not have been much of an angler. You always have one in a group. I guess it's like that. Won't do all black. But the guy with the YouTube channel didn't even reply to it. I didn't reply to it either. I thought about something at first, but I was just like, nah. As soon as I looked to see if the guy that had the channel replied to it, and he didn't. It's like, good for him. Just ignore it like it's not even there. Let it there for everybody else to see. That way they know what that guy's all about too. And I'd had comments left on mine already about fish that I keep. Well, I'm not driving an hour away and spending $200 on freaking fuel and stuff to go out. Fuel to haul the boat down there and everything else. Take off work, lose work. Not to bring fish back to fill my freezer. I have no problem at all keeping fish, especially catfish, especially from out of the Chesapeake. And it's not just because they're an invasive species. It's because we have commercial fishermen fishing for them fish. And they will take every fish they catch, will go straight to market. It don't matter if that's a freaking 3-pound cat, blue cat, or if it's a freaking 103-pound blue cat. It'll be going to the fishmonger because they'll come in and empty out a whole area. So, and I don't agree with the guys. Guys get mad at me because I keep fish over 10 pounds. I will not keep a blue cat until that catfish reaches 15-pound down there. And I won't keep one that weighs over 25. My theory on that is it takes a blue cat, I think, 7 years to make it to 10 pounds. After it makes it to 10 pounds, that fish can double in weight pretty much every year. So wouldn't it make more sense to let that fish make it to 15 pound? Because you only got to wait another year for that 7-year-old fish to put 5 more pounds on. Why would you keep every little one? You need to catch the ones that are between 15 and 25 pounds or over 25 pounds, then throw them back. Get rid of that population of the 15 to 25. Keep them little ones there. That way they get big. And after 25 pound, then you consider it a trophy size fish. And the other thing is, them 10 pounders and below that have been there for 7 years, they're not doing the damage to the ecosystem because they're pretty much just vegetarians yet. Once that fish makes it over 15 pounds, now he's eating every other fish that he sees. Anything he can fit in his mouth is going down. And he'll still be a vegetarian too, but he's eating every other fish that he can get in there. Under 10 pounds, they're almost always vegetarians and scavengers. That's why everybody uses stink bait, which stinky bait doesn't work on full-grown mature fish. And it's just my theory on it. When you talk to guys that fish the Tennessee River or out in Texas and everything else, they will just flip out on me that I keep fish that weigh over 10 pounds. But at least if I let that, how many of them get to make it to spawn anyhow? Them bigger ones. Eat the eggs of bass eggs. Yeah, well, them bass are eating how many of them white perch, which is giving them a chance to get bigger to get to that spawning size. Because they got to have feed. I mean, if you got 7-inch white perch, a bass, especially if spawning size, doesn't have a problem taking that size white perch out. That's no different than a big shiner. Who we got in here yet, guys? Some of my stuff wrapped up here soon. Back straightened out. What? You want your haircut? Next fishing season, buddy. We'll start trimming your hair for jigs. Okay. Squirrel in here. Martin's still in here. And Martin didn't chime in on fish sizes. I mean, I'd like to have that conversation with people over that on weights. How many jigs did I make just screwing around and talking? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them, and not even trying. Yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, they try to say, well, you don't want to keep them catfish over 10 pound. Now, when it comes to flatheads and channel cats, I'm in line with them guys on what size fish to keep. Hey, you don't keep them over 10 pound. And actually, I don't keep any up here out of the Susquehanna. Not a single fish, because our population isn't high enough to keep them. So I figure that these guys are fishing these other rivers. It's probably more like it is on the section of the Susquehanna that I'm on. And I'm in a good section for flathead. Really good section. Wrightsville area. And you can go out there and pull 60-pound flathead out or bigger. And I won't keep them. Now I know other people that do. They'll keep any size. It could be a 70-pound. It could be a trophy size. And they'll keep it. But I refuse to keep any up here because of the population. It ain't strong enough. And even though that flathead is not supposed to be up here, it ain't supposed to be in the Susquehanna at all, I still won't keep it. I'll release it because it's a sport fish to everybody around here. And I'd like to be able to catch a lot more of them. But when I'm down there in the mouth of the Chesapeake, it's yeah, I'm catching, fill the freezer for sure. Ain't no doubt about it. Especially when you can go down there and, man, I can go down and pull freaking 20 plus blue cats out in a day easily. Or go down there and catch freaking 50 channel cats and 20 blue cats. Yeah, so it's definitely, and that's commercially fished down there too. And that's the fish population that they got. That, and why am I going to go down there and fish for blue cat and release them and then go to the grocery store and buy it when it's $14 a pound at the grocery store right down the street from me? Well, I tell you what, Eddie Finn, you would think that them fish are overstocked down there for blue cats and channel cats. But it's just, if you don't have guys out there catching them, it's hurting the other population. It hurts the white perch run. It hurts the Manhattan runs. Freaking the shad, everything else. And that just destroys the rockfish population, which is the real sport fish of the bay. I mean, we got rockfish. They're up in New York and they end up down here in the mouth of Susquehanna. And they were up in New York swimming freaking last month. And they come down into the Chesapeake in the lower bay to get to the warmer water when it gets cold enough. And then come spring, they head up the bay, up into the river, do their spawn, and then head back out. They either go back down the lower bay or back out, and the mature ones go back out into the ocean. And you'll have schoolies, like fish that are under 20 inches that are always here or down there in that section. Some of them make it up the fish lifts up into Pennsylvania, or they get hauled up in the trucks and everything. You catch them up here in the river if you're targeting them. You'll get them every now and then, and you're allowed to keep them. There's no limit on them, and yet they're so hard, very few and far between. Which I never figured that one out. Why there isn't a limit. Are you here now, Martin? Or on your way? Martin's going to the Cat Con. Which we got what, like 22 days yet? I believe that's what it was. Number 22 to Cat Con. Cat Con's still up in the air for me whether I want to go or not. I need to fix my big boat. And I don't really want to spend the money at CatCon or to even go to CatCon that I should be putting into my boat. Because then I won't be fishing for rockfish out in the bay, in the big part of the bay. I can still fish the mouth of it, but I don't have to worry about the weather with the big boat. Did that freeze, guys? See, we got somebody else snuck in here. I'd really like to go to CatCon, but J-Dog and Hooks and Hammocks. Yeah, the boy. So how long you staying, Martin? I'll sneeze, dog. Seven days. That's cool. Yeah, I wanted to go to that meet and greet too in the spring this year, but I don't think I'm going to do that. One in Tennessee. I think it's, yeah, northern Tennessee at the campground. But I hear next year they are going to have one in uh, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and I'm going to go to that one. I think that's about a 12-hour drive down there. I think for me to go to CatCon this year, I think that's a 10-hour drive. And I don't think there's a whole lot of stuff to do there. I go to the Pigeon Forge meet and greet next year. I'll stay for the week, do vacation. That's a real fun vacation town. And do some fishing while I'm down there in the Tennessee River. I think Wendy from oh my, I just call her Wendy all the time. Southern Grown. She's organizing this next one for 2024. Be there next year too, but stopping longer to hopefully more fishing. We can swing by and fish with me next year. I don't know. I still might get a last minute bug and end up at it this year. I get like that. I'll just jump in the car the night before and go. Or the day of, as long as I know it's one more day of it. Or get up at freaking 1 o'clock in the morning and head to it. Since I'm up every night anyhow. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end this. End this live stream. Get all my stuff put away here. Write down my reminder that I'm supposed to mail some Cooper hair out. Look at that stuff. You guys see that? It looks like it's crimped. It has really good fur to use. All right, I'll catch everybody later. Thanks for coming in. Sunfish for fish. We were just getting ready to end our stream. We're going to end it though. Thanks for coming in. Later, guys.